If you go into the stock market and you buy one share of McDonald's, you become one of the owners of McDonald's. Now, if you just own one share of McDonald's, you're not going to get to tell them what to do and how to run their business, but you do get to share in the profits when McDonald's makes money. Now, the difference between being a real investor and being a flipper or a trader is how long you plan on owning your investment for. Like if you stick with McDonald's, if you plan on just buying and selling their stock in 3 months to make a quick profit, you're not an investor, you're a trader. If you plan on owning this investment for longer than a year, now you're classified as an investor. So if we draw this out, when you invest your money, you are using your money to be a producer, not just a consumer. Remember, when you're a consumer, you're just eating the product or using the product. When you're the producer, you're the one that's making money off of the product. So you're investing in being a producer, and when you invest your money, you have a time span of having your money invested for at least 1 year. What I want to talk about in this video is not just your regular investments. I want to talk about the investments you should be holding for your entire life because they're a little bit different than what you might think. I'm going to be going over 5 different investment types in this video, so make sure you watch this video until the end. But before I get into that, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash that thumbs up button below, because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you do not smash that thumbs up button, then YouTube is much less likely to show you and other people our financial news and education videos. The first is real estate for residential purposes for reasons that you might not expect. Now, when I say real estate for residential purposes, I mean real estate where people live in. So this can be homes or apartments. I'm not calling it residential real estate because when people say residential real estate, that typically means we're talking about single family homes or small multifamily units up to 4 different units. When I say real estate for residential purposes, this can mean single family homes or this can mean big apartment complexes where people live in. The way real estate investing works is like this. Let's say you find this house right here on sale for $100,000 and you go through the property and you think it's a good property in a good area. So then you come in, so I'm gonna draw you right here, and I'm gonna draw you with a nice mustache, of course. You come in and you buy this property for $100,000. Now you own this home right here, but you're not gonna live in this home yourself. Instead, what you do is you are going to lease this home out to this person right here and maybe their family, and they're going to live in your property, but in exchange of this person living in your property, they're going to pay you $1,000 a month in rent every single month for them living in your property. Now, you can continue working your job like normal, or you can go on vacation or do whatever you got to do, and you will continue making this $1,000 a month every single month because this person needs a place to live, and where they're living, they're living in your home. The reason I say you want to own real estate for residential purposes for life is because people will always need a place to stay no matter what happens in technology and no matter what happens in the future. People will always need a home. You can compare that to the past, where people used to look at shopping malls and strip plazas as the thing to own in real estate. Well, as technology came and Amazon came and the shopping dynamic of the world changed, then shopping malls didn't become as attractive. There were people who made a ton of money in the strip mall and the shopping mall business. But now that industry is kind of dying because the whole shopping industry is changing. Same with office real estate. Real estate investors back in the day used to say that companies will always need a place to work. But then came the 2020 pandemic, and then people realized that they can work from home, which made office real estate not so attractive. Residential real estate is a little bit different because people will always need a roof over their heads. People will always need a bed to sleep on, and people will always need a home to stay in. That makes it a lot easier for you to own real estate for the rest of your life, because the only reason people won't want a home to live in is if people decide that they're more comfortable living on the streets. Now, let's talk about why you don't want to own real estate for the rest of your life. So for the sake of this example, let's say over here you have a single family home and here you have an apartment complex, both of which you can buy for $1 million. And let's assume, for the sake of this example, that if you rented out both of these properties, after paying all of your expenses, you would be left with $70,000 at the end of a year. So you buy each one of these, and each one of these make you, let's just say, $200,000 a year in rental income, and then you pay for all of your expenses, your property taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, your management fees. After paying all of your expenses, you are left with $70,000 worth of profit, and we're assuming that there's no debt. You're buying these properties with cash only. That means both of these properties are paying you a 7% annual return, because here you're buying this house for $1 million and you're making $70,000 a year in rental income profits, and here you're buying this apartment complex for $1 million and you're making $70,000 a year in profits. But you also have to remember that just because you made $70,000 doesn't mean you get to keep $70,000, because the IRS wants their cut. you gotta pay taxes on this money. However, real estate does come with some legal tax loopholes. When you own real estate as an investment, meaning you're not the one living here, you are renting out your property to somebody else, then you get to tell the IRS, hey, this property that I own is 1 year older, so I deserve a tax break called the depreciation deduction on my taxes. And so you get to take a tax break on both of this income right here because you own investment real estate. But the size of your deduction is going to be different here and here because this single family home is considered residential real estate and this apartment complex is considered commercial real estate. Residential real estate, so single family homes, 2 families, 3 families, and 4 family units, let you depreciate your property for 27.5 years, while commercial real estate, so anything over 4 units, lets you depreciate this property over 39 years. I'm gonna explain what this means. So now what you're gonna do is you are gonna take the value of this building, not the land, the building itself, and divide it by the number of years that you can depreciate it on your taxes. So for the sake of these examples, let's assume that when you buy this $1 million property, $200,000 of which is going towards the land value because these properties sit on some land, and $800,000 is for the building. So you're paying $200,000 for the land that this property's on, and $800,000 is for the actual building. Once you know that, now you can do $800,000 divided by 27.5, which is, $800,000 divided by 27.5, $29,000. So over here you get a $29,000 tax break every year for 27.5 years. And over here, $800,000 divided by 39, this is about $20,000. So here you get a $20,000 tax break every single year for 39 years. What this allows you to do now is you buy this property, you make $70,000 a year, but you only pay taxes on $79,000 minus $29,000, so right around $41,000. You're only paying taxes on $41,000 worth of income for the first 27.5 years. After 27.5 years, you don't get this deduction anymore. Same thing here. Here, you make $70,000, but you only tell the IRS that you made $50,000, and you get to do that for 39 years. After 39 years, you don't get that deduction anymore, which is why a lot of people invest in real estate, but they have the goal of never holding it longer than 27.5 or longer than 39 years. However, you also get some benefits if you own real estate for your entire life. So this is the reason why you wouldn't want to own real estate for your entire life, because after 27.5 years or after 39 years, you no longer get this tax break, and so now you have to pay more money in taxes. And so if you don't want to pay more money in taxes, you might want to sell your property after 27.5 years or after 39 years. That way you can take advantage of all these real estate tax breaks. However, let's go over why you might want to own real estate for your entire life. So now, same example. You buy either one of these properties for $1 million and you own it for some time and you're making rental money every single year. But now a few years go by and you find out that your property is now worth $5 million. So you got a lot of equity in this property because you bought it for $1 million and now it's worth $5 million. And now you're thinking, yeah, I want to give this property or this money to my kids. Now, one thing that you can do is you can sell this property and get $5 million worth of cash, but now you have millions of dollars worth of profit because you bought this property for $1 million and you're selling it for $5 million. So you're gonna have a pretty big tax bill where you're gonna have to give a big chunk of this money to the IRS in taxes. The alternative, assuming you do not sell this property for cash when you're alive and you own these properties, either one, until you die. Now, when you die, your estate gives this property, either one, to your heirs, your kids. Now what happens is your kid is gonna get this property and the government is going to say that your kid got the property, they bought it for $5 million. So if your kid went out and they sold this property today for $5 million after you die, they will get this $5 million of cash and they don't have to pay any taxes on this money because to the government, it looks like they bought the property for $5 million. This concept is called stepped up basis, and essentially what it's saying is if you die with this property, then the person you give this property to essentially can say that they bought the property for how much it's worth when you die. So now if you get here, you don't have to worry about selling your property for a profit and then paying taxes and then giving this cash to your kid. What you can do is let this property live with you for the rest of your life, and then when you die, you give this property to your kid, and now what you have to worry about is estate taxes, but you get a much bigger kind of cushion with estate taxes because you have to be gifting millions of dollars before any estate taxes come into play. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.